All right, guys, welcome. This is our first REI Secrets webinar, and I'm excited about this. My goal isn't to create another coaching call and just answer a bunch of questions, but my goal on these weekly REI Secrets webinars is to teach you guys new cool hacks and tricks, marketing and systems. I've always said there's 3 keys to success in real estate investing: marketing, automation, and delegation. And so that's my goal on these weekly training series. I'm calling it REI Secrets. I just want to teach. I want to teach you guys some cool things that we're doing, some cool things that I've learned, some new strategies and software and marketing tactics, and just teach you guys some cool things that can help you get more leads, close more deals, and make more money. Anybody not interested in that? I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Is anybody not interested in getting more leads, closing more deals, making more money? Sounds great. That's why we're in this business, isn't it? Awesome. So I got a lot of things I could talk about, and I thought I would first talk about something that I've been working on for a long time now, and hopefully a lot of you guys already know about it. And you've seen me talk about it a little bit in my emails, in my Facebook groups, and stuff like that. First of all, let me just make sure you guys are interested in that, right? Am I on the same page? Are we all on the same page of what you'd like to learn? How to get more leads, how to close more deals, how to make more money? All right, we're in it. We're in this to win it. I know you guys can't see right now all of the chats and comments. I've set it up where I think you can only chat with the panelists, which is me. I may change this up in the future where you can chat with everybody. I don't know yet. So my goal again of this is just to teach some good value. I might change the format a little bit later to where we can all chat together. And, but as I go through this stuff, I want you to show me, your questions and show me, what's going on. All right, so a few things here. A lot of you guys, I'm going to share my screen here. I have this new calculator. Who has seen my new calculator? Who has seen my new calculator? It's called Automated Investing Secrets. Judah, it's awesome. Alan, I love it. Alton, I just like it. He likes it. Who else has seen it? Julie, yes, it's awesome. All right, it used to be when you went to my website, automatedofferpro.com, it was free to everybody. But I've changed it now where it's only paying customers, which if you are here on this webinar, you're a paying customer of mine. You bought my course, you signed up with Partner with Joe. And so I'm not opening this to the public. This is only for paying customers. And you have, if you're a paying customer, you have access right now to my Automated Offer Pro calculator. So where is it? You need to log into your membership sites, and then you'll find it. So I'm going to open up one of the websites so you can kind of see where it is. And I'll show you how to get to it, because I'm going to show you how to use it on this little webinar here. And I'm going to show you real quick, simple, easy ways to come up with cash offers, owner financing offers, lease option offers. And pretty soon, I was just doing a webinar today with Pace Morby. Pace Morby is a guy who is a friend of mine who does a lot of subject twos. And he's got some cool stuff going on with subject two stuff. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again right now. You guys see this? Tell me what you guys see. It should say, welcome to your membership dashboard. All right, good. This is it. Over the last 6 months or so, I've changed everything from ClickFunnels membership sites to now a Kajabi membership site. So at members.joemccall.com, I'm going to put this link in the Zoom chat. Oops. All right. So I put the link into the Zoom chat. If you don't have, you'll need to click that, and you're going to create, log in with the username and password. If you can't get in it, send an email to support@joemccall.com. Send an email if you can't get in this and can't log in to your course. Send an email to support@joemccall.com. Basically, what we've done is all of my courses, from simple lease options, wholesaling lease options, automated wholesaling, small town profits isn't in here, investor agent cash, everything is now in this membership site. So if you see in my screen here, you'll see all of my courses, and depending on what you have access to, it'll be here, right? And I have 2 pages so far of stuff in here. So depending on what you've bought, you'll have access to stuff. So now what we have here is this thing called Automated Offer Pro. Partner with Joe is this new program I just launched. It's $7. It's really awesome. A lot of you guys are in that. If you have Automated Investing Secrets, it's right here. Simple Lease Options is my main lease options course. Pretty soon, though, Automated Investing Secrets will be the main course. And so if you already have Simple Lease Options, you will soon have access to Automated Investing Secrets. I'm starting a new thing called Joe's Inner Circle, which are going to be the coaching calls. That's going to be available. So there's a lot of stuff in here that you might or may not have access to. Like Creative Financing Lab is the class that I did with Matt Terrio on creative financing. A lot of cool stuff here. Some of you have the book bundles and all right. So anyway, right here now is this thing called Automated Offer Pro. And this is my new calculator. So now to get access to the calculator, you need to be in the membership site to get it. And I have in here the training on how to use it and the actual calculator. All right. So when you click on that, you'll see the calculator right here. All right. And here you can go through it and use it. So this is what I'm going to do. But also here, you see here how to use the calculator, the training. And this is a video I created. It's a 43-minute video on how to use the calculator. You can go back and watch it and play with it. So here is the calculator right here. Let's just do this. I'm going to bring this into a new screen here. And let's go, somebody here has a property you want some help evaluating. Type in the address into the Zoom chat. Maybe I'll play with something here. I'm just going to go find a property in Zillow. Or actually, somebody give me one of your favorite zips. Somebody, 32703. Where is 32703? Apopka, Florida. Where's Apopka, Florida? Anyway, it's near Orlando. Okay. All right. I got it right here. Apopka. I was making fun of Apopka, Florida, because I've never heard of it before. And now we're going to evaluate a deal here. So let's just say we're going through here and we find a property. In fact, let's do this. I want to do this here for you guys. Let's go to Redfin. All right, so I'm going to go to Redfin here. I want to look for houses in 32703 that have been on the market over 60 days. So I'm going to go to more filters. I want houses only. I want for sale on time on Redfin more than 60 days. Oh my gosh. The market is so hot. Why are there 25 homes on the market right now? Now, some of these are new. Well, you can't see Redfin? Ah, all right. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. I'd taken my calculator onto a new page. So it looks like this. And I went to Zillow, found some properties here, but I decided let's go to Redfin and look for some older homes that have been on the market. So now we have here, these are, I went to houses only. I went time on Redfin more than 60 days, and we're in 32703. And I want to make sure we're not doing any new construction. So I'm going to do built before 2015. Now there's only 4 homes in that zip code. I'm going to remove outline here. So just in that area, there are 44 homes on the market that have been on the market over 60 days. Let's do I don't want like the real expensive homes either. Let's stay under 400,000. Now there's 21 homes. Is that crazy? 21 homes. If the market is so hot in this little area north of Orlando, why haven't these homes sold yet? Well, they're overpriced. This is a great little property here. Let's go skip through the pictures. Yeah, it's a little outdated, maybe. You know, the tile floor looks like it's from the 80s or 90s. Well, it was built in 97, so it wasn't from the 80s. So it is 23 years old, this kitchen. You know, there's Formica countertops. You got the kind of weird tile with square, dark grout lines. Yeah, this looks like a house that was built in the 90s and probably hasn't been updated since. And it's got some outdated stuff in the bathroom, some older things. So this house just hasn't been updated. And it doesn't look like it's been set or staged. It still has furniture in it. This is an outdated house, and the flooring probably needs to all be replaced. So this house hasn't sold yet. Interesting. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple things here. Really cool. I'm going to zoom out to get some more. Now we have 88 homes. 88 homes, okay? I'm going to go down here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of this Redfin. Oops. And I'm going to download all of these into a spreadsheet. Okay, just downloaded them into a spreadsheet. And I'm going to open this spreadsheet up. And I'll share my spreadsheet with you. I'm just going to show you. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share my whole desktop with you here. Hold on. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. Share screen desktop. Okay. So this is the spreadsheet that I just downloaded from Redfin. And it's not going to have much. All it has here is the address, the price, beds, baths, and subdivision, square feet, days on market, year built, and the Redfin link, and the MLS ID and the GPS coordinates. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here. I'm going to log into PropStream Joe. By the way, do you guys have PropStream Joe yet? I'm going to put that link here in the chat. Do you need to get PropStream? You get a 7-day free trial. I'm going to show you why I love PropStream so much. PropStream Joe. Log into my account here. So we just downloaded a list of how many here? 89 properties that have been on the market over 60 days, right? Not any new construction. I'm going to go in here to PropStream. I'm going to go to My Properties. And by the way, we are recording all of these. So, and they're going to be put into the membership site. Remember, I was just showing you membership sites here. You're going to have access to this thing called REI Secrets weekly training webinars. And all the recordings will be in here, just so you all know. Okay. All right. So now I'm here in PropStream. I'm going to import that list I just downloaded. But first, I need to download one of their sample templates so I import it back in the right way. So I'm going to download the CSV. I'm going to open it up. And the CSV wants to see just a couple things here. They want to see the address, city, state, and zip. That's all they want, right? So I'm going to go up here to the very top. I'm going to just copy and paste the city, state, and zip. If it lets me. Here we go. So I'm copy that. I'm going to go to the new spreadsheet. I'm going to paste it right there. And I need to clean it up a little bit because the cut, paste. All right. So I have the address here. The unit is blank, city, state, zip. I don't need the county or FIPS or APN. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go here back to PropStream, and I'm going to choose the file now. I'm going to choose that file I just created right here, properties 12. I'm going to create a new one, and let's call this, what's the zip code again? 32703. 32703, old listings. So it's uploading that list to PropStream. All I have is the address, but the cool thing what PropStream does, it's going to give me the names and the addresses of all of the owners of these older listings, okay? And it's also then going to show me which ones of these have high equity. So 88 were loaded, 88 were processed, 85 success, 3 failed. For some reason, there's something wrong with the addresses, okay? So now I'm going to pull that list that I just did a search for, and it's right here. 32703 old listings. Check this out. This is amazing. This is awesome. Of those 85 properties in there, guys, 48 of them are free and clear, do not have a mortgage. Are you kidding me? What? So this is now, if I look at this, I have the owner's names. If I scroll over, I have the owner's mailing addresses. A lot of times they're just the same, except this one here is an absentee owner. This one is an absentee owner. This one's an absentee owner. This one's an absentee owner. This one's an absentee owner. You know what an absentee owner is? This one is. Most of these are. Oh my gosh. What does that mean? It means the address, the mailing address of the owner is different than the property address. Okay. So a lot of these are absentee owners, which means what? The house is probably vacant. Let's just look at an example here. Here's one. 152 Mobile Avenue. All right. 152 Mobile Avenue. Let's go back to our list here and see if we can find that. In fact, I'm just going to go right here. Yeah. 152 Mobile Avenue. And the 32703. This is it right here, isn't it? All right, view details. Yeah, just like I thought, this property has been on the market for I don't know how many days yet, and it's vacant. This was a rehab, most likely. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. I don't even know if that is the right area, isn't it? Where's the zoom? Let me zoom out. Yeah, okay, it's the right area. Okay. All right. The cool thing now is, guys, look at this. I have 85 of these properties. Don't ignore the on market. The MLS data on Redfin is not that good. 10 of them are vacant, though. 65 have high equity. 17 have low equity. These might be great lease option deals. Negative equity, excuse me. Pre-foreclosure bank owned. One of them has a lien. 48 of them are free and clear. So check this out. If you click on the free and clear, you can see now these properties do not have mortgages. What if we sent some blind owner financing offers to the owners? The other thing you could do is you could, from PropStream, and I don't need to show this to you right now, but you could download this entire list and say, all right, filter out the ones that have owned the house at least 10 years, that are free and clear. And you could send blind owner financing offers to them. So you can see here a column, last recording date. Like this one right here, it was last sold in 2012, okay? And maybe this is a better one here. I don't know, I'm just flying off the seat of my pants. This one was last sold in 2006. And it's free and clear. If I click on that property, all right, this is 155 Providence Circle. I'm going to copy that. Let's look it up here in Redfin. All right, this looks like a nice house. They just dropped the price $10K. They're motivated. How long has it been on Redfin? I'll tell you in a minute. 154 days. Guys, this house is free and clear. And this is why I like PropStream so much. You can see how much they've owned it. And you can see their mortgage transaction history. And for some reason, this might have been a 15-year mortgage because it was financed in 06. And they're showing estimated equity of 275. Even if they're wrong, there's a lot of equity in this deal. So it doesn't matter to me, right? So now I can see the mailing address, Desmond Watson and Betty Hart. It's the same. It's not an absentee owner. But let's look at the property here. Let's look at the photos. Oh, this is why it hasn't sold yet. It needs updating, isn't it? Yep. Popcorn ceilings, pink walls, brown trim, weird tile floor. I mean, this is kind of a weird house. It's just priced too much. Looks like a great yard. It looks like a real nice neighborhood. It hasn't sold yet because it's overpriced and it needs updating. What if we offered the seller full price if they would do owner financing or a lease purchase? All right, so back here to PropStream, why don't we just create an offer? Now, one of the things I wanted to show you was, this is 155 Providence. One of the things I wanted to show you was you could actually take this whole list and export it, and then it will give you in the export the realtor's email address and phone numbers. Look at these. You see the realtor's agent's name, agent phone number, agent email. In fact, let's go back to that house. Where did it go? It was 155 Providence. There, this one. Oh, it's not on there. Normally it has right here the MLS details of that property. And look at it's blank right there. Let's just look at this one as an example then. You can click on MLS details and you can see right down here it has the agent's Jorge, phone number, and email. Now, one of the videos I'm going to be showing you in the future is how using something like, if you go to joemccall.com/GMAS, I'll put that link in here. joemccall.com/GMAS, you can use GMAS to email all of these realtors at once. I get 80 to 90% deliverability with these emails. And I'm going to show you in a future video here how you can email all these realtors and say, hey, I'm an investor. I really like this house that you have on Bayshore Drive in Orlando. You or your client, if I could get your client their asking price of whatever it is, would they consider, what is it here, Bayshore? Their asking price of, I don't know what their asking price is. I have to look. Would they consider something like seller financing or lease purchase? All right. So anyway, we're going to show you in future videos here, like you can take this list and do several things with it. You can get the emails of the realtors. You can send all of the realtors an email using something called GMAS, which is amazing. You get super high deliverability. And every time I've done this, I've gotten potential deals and I've gotten deals out of it. You can also take the phone numbers and send a text messaging campaign to the realtors. Okay. You can also get the owners and skip trace the owners, and you can cold call the owners. You can send a letter to the owners. It's pretty awesome. So for this house here, though, let's just say we're just wanting to make a one-time offer. We're going to send a letter to the owner, or we talked to the owner. We sent the owner a letter. We to talk to the realtor. The realtor said, yeah, they would, we'd be willing to sell it. Maybe go ahead and make an offer. All right. I hope you guys see how cool and awesome this is. Let me just recap what we did. We looked for all of these properties in this area that have been on the market over 60 days. They haven't sold yet. We downloaded this list. We uploaded it into PropStream, and we found all the properties that are free and clear. We found the name and the address and the phone numbers of all the realtors. That opens up a huge door of opportunity where we can send marketing to the realtors and to the owners. All right, so now back to my calculator. I'm going to do a few things here. I'm going to copy this address, and I'm going to copy the owner's name. All right, so here is my calculator. We're now going to create an offer to this seller. We've only talked to them a little bit. We're going to put our company information in here. Business address, your email, and your website. All right, let me show you something, guys. There's an add-on called that I have in Google Chrome. It's called, I don't know, you can't see it. It's called Generate Autofill. And so what I've done here is with this little add-on, and I'll show you what it's called actually here in a minute. You can set it up where when you go to this form again in the future, it'll automatically fill in everything. Okay, so I just generated Autofill Rules. This add-on is called Autofill. So if you have Google Chrome, go get this plugin called Autofill and manage extension. I'm just going to show you what it looks like here. I don't know how to say it. It's called Autofill. Get this extension called Autofill. So when you're in here, let's go back here to this page here. I'm going to click on Calculator Access. Did you hear that? You just heard this zap. It just zapped everything in here. So it refilled everything out. You don't have to do that over and over again. Yeah, most password managers have something like that. I use LastPass, and for some reason, I can't figure out how to get LastPass to do it, but that autofill thing just did it. Okay, now I'm going to click Next. Now I need to put the seller's name in here. And the other thing I use a lot is this thing called Clipboard History. I don't know if you can see that or not, but like whenever I can copy and paste multiple things and it adds it in here. So I can just copy and paste things that I've already copied. Now it gave me the seller's name in all caps. I don't like that. So I'm just going to Watson and Betty Hart. I just kind of retype it to get rid of the all caps. All right. The property address, just paste that right there, but I need to kind of cut and paste stuff. The city has to go there. Florida. Cut, paste. Okay. Now, if I go here to PropStream, the mailing address is the same as a property address. All right. So all I'm going to do here is copy, paste, Florida, copy, paste. All right. Next, this is where we're going to determine our ARV. And I should explain this. You have your info, the property info, after repair value, the cash offer, lease option, and owner financing. All right. So we need to get the ARV of this house. Now they've listed it for $309,900, but what are the values of the house? Now you can see here Redfin estimate is $306,320. So let's put that in there. Redfin $306,320. Let's look up what Zillow says. Sometimes you can get the values from Zillow on a listed property. Sometimes you can't. If we go to realtor.com, let's also go to zillow.com. Well, by the way, PropStream gives us a value right here, 275,433. PropStream. Okay. Let's put that in here. Oops. Let's put the address. Now, if it's a listed property, sometimes realtor.com doesn't give you their estimated value. Sometimes they do. And right here, there's this thing called home value. If you open that up, this is interesting. It gives you collateral analytics. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit. See that right there? Collateral analytics, CoreLogic, Quantarium. So I'm just going to go here. The first one is 282. Okay. Now you don't have to put in the thing here you want, if you don't want, like the name, CoreLogic 276-100. Enter, and then you could do one more, Quantarium 258-757. Again, you can just type in Quantarium if you want, right? And cool. It's interesting, isn't it? So those are all lower than the current list price. Let's check out Zillow. What does Zillow say? Oops. Bum, bum, bum. All right, there's estimate. That's interesting. Sometimes they do that, sometimes they don't. But this estimate is a lot less. So let's go here. Let's add one more. Zillow. Oh, so when it comes to ARV, there we go. That's enough. And you can also do appraisal. Sometimes you can do, right from the MLS or whatever. But we have an average now of 279, 171. So enter the ARV you want to use. Let's just do 280. Okay. Just the average. Now, sometimes, you can take out like the really low ones. So if I wanted to, maybe I could take out Quantarium. That's the lowest one. Now we got 283. Let's do 285. Don't spend more time than I just did. It took me longer than it should have taken you to do this because we're just going to get an approximate number, 285. Now I click next. Now here we're going to calculate our cash offer. All right. The ARV from the previous page is 285. Discount from ARV, usually 70%. In a hot market like Florida, maybe I'll do 75%. Okay. Square footage on this property is 1899. Now, why do we want square footage? Because it helps us calculate repairs. And let's look at this property again. What kind of repairs does it need? I mean, you could spend a lot of time going into this and evaluating it, but this is more than just cosmetics. If we're going to get this super nice, this is going to need, new countertops, new kitchen. It's going to need new flooring. Are there any pictures of there's no pictures of the bathrooms, which is very interesting. So this house is going to need not a full gut rehab, but pretty substantial, right? So this is going to be different for every market. You just kind of need to play around with it, okay? This is going to be, I think, a mid-level rehab, $20 a square foot, which is about 38 grand. Now, let me show you something in FreedomSoft. By the way, I have REI Simple, which is my white labeled, but there's also FreedomSoft. And soon I'm going to have a coach's account. It's called Joe McCall Signature Edition of FreedomSoft. And I'll have all my stuff in there as well. I just want to show you when you're looking at a deal, you get access to a rehab estimate. Okay. And we're just going to put that address in here. If you're not using this yet in FreedomSoft or REI Simple, you need to. It's amazing. Okay, we'll do the Florida there. Okay. Let me show you what we've got here. This is it's a ranch, isn't it? Yeah. Total square feet, what did we say it was? 1899. And we're not adding any square footage. There is no basement probably. Yeah, it's Florida. It's a 3-bedroom and 1.5, 2 baths. This estimating tool in FreedomSoft is crazy accurate. It's really, really good. And it's amazing. I've talked to contractors who have looked at it and just been really amazed. I don't think, is there a garage? Or is that just a driveway? It's a garage. That's a 1-car garage. They might be classified as a 2. Let's just keep it as a 1. Roof. Just looking at the pictures, you can see some discoloring on there. It's probably in decent shape, but that discoloring is kind of ugly, isn't it? So let's just say needs some repairs, not replaced, but some repairs. Contingency, let's add 5%. Current condition, livable, but it needs work. All right. Property after repairs, $18.99. We're not adding any beds. We're not adding any baths. Still will have a one-car garage. And the finished quality, economy, average, luxury. So like if I was rehabbing this for a rental, I might do economy. Luxury, if it was a really, really nice house. Average, let's just keep it on average. Housing market adjustment, this will be where it kind of tailors your construction costs based on the city that you're in. So it's going to cost more to rehab in San Jose, California than maybe Florida. But let's just see what happens here. Florida and the city, it's right around Orlando, isn't it? Okay. Create estimate. Boom, here we go. This is really good. So you can see here, you've got permits, demolition. There'll be a little bit of demo, roof, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, framing, insulation. And there's two different rehabs, a rental grade rehab and a fix and flip rehab, okay? And you may go through this and you can adjust it any way you want. They're figuring about $5,200 for the kitchen. You may say, well, it's more than that. It should be $7,500. So let me click the edit button and go in here and do $7,500. Okay. You may say landscaping needs to be a little bit more or less. Garage, there's nothing we really need to do in there. You can make that 0 if you want. Contingency. All right. So anyway, you can see here the total is about 43 grand. Now I did in our calculator here, mid-level rehab about 20. So you might decide, we need to do maybe $25 a square foot. Just kind of depends. I mean, your markets. Now, whatever you're doing there, you can go in here and edit this. You can change it. You can say, you know what? I'm just going to make it $40,000 for estimated repairs. Oops. Okay. Wholesale fee, you always want to shoot for at least 10 grand in wholesale fee. So this is going to give you method 1 cash offer of 163,000. Now, method 2 for cash offer is the average of the lowest solds times a certain percentage. Okay. So let's look at what are the average solds. And this is why I like PropStream so much. I'm going to go here I have this property up here and I'm going to click on comparables. And it's got 19 comparables and it searches public records and the MLS. It gives you a date range in the last year, houses of similar size within a half-mile radius. If you're not getting enough, you could just move that to 1 mile radius. Now we've got 64. Maybe too much. Let's do half mile, 0.5. So I hope you can see this okay. All right, now I'm going to take this table and I'm going to sort it by amount. All right, now the lowest ones are here on the top of the list. Now, some of these are 2 bedrooms. So if you wanted to, you could say, all right, well, it has to have at least 3 bedrooms. And it resets them. Now there's 18 comps. Let me sort it by amount again. Now, you might want to take out the outliers. This one sold for 92. That might be just way low. So let's remove the outliers and let's just kind of take the where we are here at the lower end. The first one is, now if you wanted to, you can copy the address here, 172,000. Paste the address, 172. Next one, wouldn't it be cool if you just had a VA do this for you? 185. And the next one, where are we? Right here. 215. 215,000. Okay, let's just do one more. Copy, and that's 215,900. All right, now we can do a discount. Usually it's 80%. Okay, so you take the average of the lowest solds times 80%. And you're going to see now we have 2 cash offers. 163,750 and 157. Okay, so enter the cash offer you want to use. Let's just do 160. How much earnest money do you want to put down? How much do you have? Let's do you want to show them you're a serious buyer, right? And if you have good cash buyers, you can make good cash offers. So let's do $2,000 earnest money, and let's give them a deadline of Friday, the end of the week. All right. So that's our cash offer. Pretty low, isn't it? I mean, we're going to offer 160. They have it listed for 309. What's the chances of it getting accepted? Not. But you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to make a stupid offer just because I don't want to hurt their feelings, right? This property, there's a reason why they keep on lowering the price, and it's been on the market for, where is it? 154 days. How many months is that? 5 months? It needs too much work. It needs a lot of updating. They're asking way too much. They're too aggressive. So they may not be motivated enough yet. Well, that's fine. But sometimes we make our cash offer just to position our nicer, better offers, our lease option offers, owner financing offers better. All right, let's click next. Now, this is where we're calculating our lease option offers. Now, this is, this might be a difficult deal to do, but we're making offers anyway. We're figuring the ARV is going to be 285 and the repairs are going to be 40. So the as-is value is 245. They're asking 309. So we're already worlds apart. All right. So what I like to do is when you're making a sandwich lease option offer, you always want to have at least 15. You want to try to get 10 to 15% equity. Orlando's a hot market. Now let's just do 10% equity. So I want at least 24 grand in equity. So I'm going to make an offer of 10% of the as-is value. You don't want to make an offer 10% of the ARV because it needs a bunch of work. So, and I'm also willing to push it up a little bit because it's a hot market. And so I'm willing to push that up a little bit. So I'll do 10% equity. Okay. And by the way, if I get this property under sandwich lease option offer, am I going to be doing the repairs? No. I'm going to be giving the tenant buyer a $30,000 to $40,000 discount if they do the work themselves. So I'm going to sell this thing at a smoking hot discount. So, I'm going to get it under option for 220. I might sell it as a lease option for maybe 255. Okay. It's worth about 285. I'm going to sell it as a lease option to a tenant buyer for about 255, about 10 grand higher than today's as is value. So you think I'm going to get a lot of interest in that? You bet I am, because this is a property that needs a lot of work. And there are tons of people looking for handyman special lease option deals. They can go in, pick these are guys that can, and ladies, that can replace the kitchen cabinets themselves. They can do the flooring themselves. They get to pick the colors they want, the cabinets, and they can do that, in a couple months with some friends. But I'm giving them a great deal. The other thing you could do, and I don't know if I like doing this as much anymore, but you could say, all right, I'm going to sell it to you for 285, and I'll give you a $30,000 work for equity credit if you do the repairs. Sometimes that gets tricky and hairy. Just give them a discounted price already as it is. It's worth 285 fixed up. Sell it to them for 255. That figures about 30 grand in for repairs for them, but they can probably do it themselves since they're doing this self-performing all of their own work. They could probably do the repairs for 20 grand. So it's a great deal for them. Does that make sense? All right. Market rent. The market rent on this property, if I just go to what PropStream says, it's about $1,722. Sometimes I like to look at the property on Zillow, and what does Zillow say the estimated rent is? Rental value, $1,725. So PropStream says $1,722. Zillow says $1,725. Let's do $1,700. I always think, if I'm going to advertise this house, I might want to advertise it for $1,695 just so I can make sure I get a good tenant in there quickly. I get a lot of applications, right? So how much cash flow do you want? Well, I typically like to get 25%, but I might be okay with 20%. So I'm going to get $339 a month cash flow, which means I'm going to offer to the seller rent of $1,356. Let's do 25%. So I'm going to offer the seller rent of $1,271 a month. All right. So how much option deposit am I going to pay to the seller? I'm going to pay them. Usually I do 1 to 2 months rent. Let's just do 2 grand. By the way, does that money come out of my pocket? No. I give the seller that money when I collect the option deposit from the tenant buyer. Depending on how good of a deal is, sometimes I will just pay it right away up front. Number of years, I always want to try to get at least 5 years, right? 5 years. Now, here's the wholesaling lease option offer. This is where I say, listen, I'll take care of everything here. You don't have to worry about anything. I'll take care of the vacancies, the maintenance, repairs. But if you don't like that, then I'll find a tenant buyer and I'll assign my lease option to them. So the current as-is value is $245, right? Well, I mean, the seller's asking $309. I might do $255. Okay. And I'll give the seller an option. For your contract to be valid, you need to give them some money, and I'll do 2 years. So my wholesaling lease option offer is going to be $255, $16.95 a month in rent, $100 a month, and 2 years. Okay. Next, now we're going to calculate our owner financing offer. So the price the seller wants or the as-is value. Now the as-is from before was $245. The seller wants $309. But you know what? Principal only payments, I might give the seller more, right? Because if I can get principal only payments, I can give them their price if they give me my terms. So I might say, I'm going to give them $275. Oops, let me type that in here. $275. Okay. And what kind of discount from that you can mark, you can add discount if you want to just leave it at 0. How much down payment do you want to make? I'll put 20% down. Where does that money come from, by the way? You're a private investor. Okay. But you don't have that. Maybe let's do 10% down, and market rent is $16.95 for principal only payments. I typically like to offer 50% of the rent. So I'm going to make them principal only payments of $874.50 a month. That's kind of where we start from. That means if you pay principal only payments, you'll pay it off in 24.3 years or 292 months. So this is all negotiable. This is where you're starting from. Okay. Now, interest only payments, I might do, if they want if they want interest payments or they want better terms, then the price needs to go down. So I might lower the price. So now before I would offer $275, now I might offer, let's do $261. Let's do 10%. So I'll offer $247. And instead of 10% down before, I'll do 5% down. And interest rate, I'll give them 4%. And a balloon, typically I do a balloon on interest only for 10 years, let's say. All right. Again, these are just things that are getting your foot in the door. This is just your initial offer. As you're negotiating and talking to the sellers, this can all be negotiated. They may say, no, I won't take $275. I want $295. Say, well, okay, I can give you $295 maybe. If we do, I'll do 0 down. Okay. And I'll pay you $500 a month principal only payments. You could even say, all right, I'll give you $285, $295, but I'll do 0 payments for the first year. Okay. You could even say this. What about this? I'll give you your price and I'm going to rent it out. I'm only going to pay you rent when I actually have a tenant in the property. Okay. There's a whole bunch of options. You could say, all right, I'll give you the higher price, but let's say they want 50% down. You can say, all right, I'll give you 50% down because I'm going to need to put a private investor. If you let me put my private investor in first position, you take second position. All right. So there's so many different things you can negotiate. This is a great thing about creative financing. You can negotiate price or terms. And there's only one way to negotiate price up and down, right? There's only one thing to negotiate, that's price. With terms, you can negotiate down payment, monthly payment, interest rate, the number of the balloon, the term, and maybe any rent credits on a lease option. You can negotiate like no payments for the first 6 months, no payments for the 12 months. Private investor, but they're in first position. Okay. By the way, some of you are like, man, again, how am I going to get that $27,000 for the down payment? The private investor. And you may say, well, there's not enough equity. How can I protect the private investor? This thing is going to cash flow really well. These terms are really good in principal only payments. All right. You can just tell your private investor, this is what we're going to do. I'll put you in second position. The seller has to be in first. But we'll set it up where if I don't, you'll pay this private investor 8% interest, let's say, okay. You can say, this is such a good deal. If I don't pay you, you can just take over this position. You can just take over the property. So you can structure it with your private investor where they can just take the deal over. Okay. Somebody's asking, where will we get a copy of this video? All of this stuff will be in the membership site. And I can't show you because I'm in this calculator right now. There's a REI Secrets weekly webinar series membership site, and all of the recordings will be in there. All right. So now we're going to click submit. All right, here we go. The offers are going to be emailed to you, and you can also download them below. And what we have here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different Word documents that you can play with. Now, I'm going to download all of them right now. You can also go to your email, and you can see them in your email. All right. Cool. I just downloaded them. Excuse me. Let's look at the last one. At the hiccups. All right. Here is the blind owner financing offer. Do you guys see it? Let me just make sure you guys can see this. Can you see? Do you see that Word document? Okay. This is one of the, whatever I said, 6 or 7. And the cool thing about this, guys, is this is in Word. So you can actually change this to do anything. You may say, I don't want to spell out Florida. I want to do FL. So change it to FL. So it's now addressed to dear Desmond Watson and Betty Hart. It's from you here. Cool. Date. My name is Joe. This is a blind owner financing. So this is what you might want to send. Like if you were to, because you have the, from PropStream here, you have the owner's contact information. You can just send them an owner financing offer. It can says here, dear Desmond Watson and Betty Hart, my name is Joe McCall. I'm writing because I'd like to purchase your property located in Orlando. Hopefully I've done my research and I've sent this to the correct person. My company is here in O'Fallon. Now, I'm sending this from O'Fallon, Missouri. So you might want to delete that. You might want to say, my company invests in Florida. Or you might just say, my company is, delete, an investment firm that specializes in buying properties like yours in the Orlando area. With that in mind, if you would consider seller financing, I would like to make you a full price offer on the property. We can buy it as is and close on any date you choose. I realize this might seem a little out of the blue, so please forgive me if this letter seems too forward. I assure you this is a real offer, and my company is prepared to pay full price for your property in 30 days or less. Now, full price, who's full price? They're asking 309. So you might need to go in here and change that, but you'll see here in a minute what I'm talking about. I'm so confident that we can offer you more than anyone else can for your property. I've included a letter of intent for your review. Please have a look at it and feel free to call us with any questions you might have. I look forward to hearing from you. You might want to change this to full or to fair, to full market. I'd like to make you a full price offer. I'll just leave it as is. Don't overthink this. All right, there's your name, your company name, your website. By the way, if you don't put your website in there, it'll just leave it blank. It's not a big deal. P.S. Please keep this letter for future reference. If now is not the right time to sell your house, if you know of anyone else that might be looking to sell, please give this letter to them. Thank you. And then I do this in italicized because it's important if it's listed, and it is. This is not a solicitation to list your house. We are wanting to buy it. If your house is already listed with a realtor, please give this letter to them. Here's my letter of intent. It's addressed to them, the date, address, name. This is just a letter of intent. This isn't a contract. Okay. It just says, hey, we'll buy your property for $275. Now you might want to change that, whatever you can, but this is the cool thing about it is this is Word, and this is a principal only payments offer. Down payment of $27,000, monthly payments of $875 per month until paid, approximately 292 months. We'll pay all taxes and insurance. We'll buy it as is. Okay. This offer expires in just 15 days. Cool. There's your info right there. You can add your fax in there as also if you want. Cool. Real simple. You could just print that and send it to the seller. If you wanted to email it, well, I can't get into this now, but you could take this and create a new seller lead and mail it to the seller in the physical mail right through FreedomSoft. But I'll show you that another time. All right, here is, you could also attach this one-page seller report that is included, which is awesome. And I just got permission from Richard Roop, who created this, to do this. How to sell your house as is at a fair price on the date of your choice. If you want to sell your house the fastest, easiest, and most convenient manner, read this important message. You may discover the perfect solution because we buy houses throughout the Orlando region. So you might want to include this in the mail. So you could, go to this thing, print it, okay? And then print this and just send them the 3 pages. And so this is a whole article. You can read it about you being all the benefits of selling their house to you. It's pretty cool. Is this amazing or what? All right, now here is the 1-page 3 options. This is something else you could send them. This is a cover letter, just a 1-page letter. And it gives them a cash. I can pay cash $160. I could do a lease purchase at $220, or I could do seller financing $275. Just gives them some options. So lease option $1,271 in rent, principal only payments $875, $847. Okay, this is your sandwich lease option offer. This is your principal only payments offer. That artist, Julie's asking, where'd that letter come from? This is in the Automated Offer Pro calculator. This is not in FreedomSoft. So let me show you what I would do then. All right. So if I'm making an offer, I would go in here to my seller leads. I would do a new lead and I would put the seller's info in here, right? So we've got copy. So the seller's name. Okay, I don't have their phone number yet. So let me just show you how to, if you're putting this inside of FreedomSoft. Okay, you can choose the campaign that you're doing this with. Save lead. Okay, so you can also click here, find owner, and it brings up the owner's information and it saves these fields down here, owner. All right, so now I've got this information in here. I could go right here to attachments. And let's say I want to attach these files I just did. I want to send the blind owner financing and the 1-page seller report. Okay. So then from here, I can highlight both of them, click email. So I'm sending those 2 attachments. And I just mail it to okay, so this is one of my demo accounts. I would mail it to Click to Mail. Or I could email it to the seller with these email templates right here. I could email it to the seller, or I could send it to Click to Mail, email to mail, and they will print it and mail it to the seller in the physical mail. All right, but my point is I wanted to show you, create the lead in here and just attach it. And then from here, you could email it to the seller. You could also, if you had a contract, do a digital signature right here from FreedomSoft. Okay. And then as when you send it, you can also click on view. Oh, never mind, it'll download it. I was going to say you could send it as a PDF and get a link and text it to the seller. Anyway, so that's the 1-page thing, right? Here is, I've already opened that. Got another thing here. This is a cash offer only. Let's say you wanted to send the seller just a cash offer. Well, you could send this. It's a 1-page thing. It says, hey, this sheet of paper is worth $160. Let's say you don't like the zeros. You can delete that. It's $160 for the next 30 days. It's just a cover letter. Hey, if you have any questions, give me a call. And then here is a 1-page contract for $160, $2,000 down. Here is the deadline right there. And then here is 2 pages of, here are the benefits you'll experience when you sell your property to us. And here are two different ways you can sell your property. So you can, what I would do here is I would save this as a PDF. Just put it in my temp folder. Okay. Now I'll go here to my FreedomSoft and I would attach that PDF I just created. All right, somebody give me their cell phone number and I'm going to text you this thing. Here we go. Julie, that number looks like it's too long. Well, maybe it's not. So I'm going to say that that's your phone number. Okay. All right. So now I have in this attachment, so now that was Julie's phone number. So this is a PDF cash offer. Okay. I'm going to do one more thing here. Click to mail, email to mail. I have videos in my training about how to do email to mail, click to mail, but I'm going to sign into my click to mail account here. Oops. And because this is my FreedomSoft account, this is my demo, I'm going to add in a new contact and I'm going to call this an advertiser and I'm going to call it my mail bot. That sounds weird. And email to mail. What email to mail does, click to mail, is it lets you email a document to click to mail. Click to mail will print it and send it to whoever is in the subject line. And you have to have approved senders. Okay, Joe at Chamberlain-Holdings is an approved sender. And you have to have a mailbox. Okay. And I have a mailbox here called all right, we're just going to call it joe-mail-yellow@emtomail.com. I'm going to copy that. And you can go in here and edit. This is a mailbox, all right? So what this does is when you send that, I know it's kind of hard to see. When you send a letter to that email address, it's going to do a double window envelope, black and white, canary. It's going to do a yellow paper. Next day production, live class, first class. It's not $263 a letter. It only works out to be about 80 cents a letter because it's a lot cheaper when you do when you have prepaid credits. Okay. So what I'm going to make here as a contact, the email is joe-mail-yellow@emtomail.com. Cool. So I'm going to save that contact here. So now that's a contact. I'll change the mailbot to just one word. All right, mailbot. Now let's go back to that lead here. Oh, there's one other thing I want to do. I want to create an email template. So you have a template. If you go to your settings, go to templates, go to email templates. I'm going to create a new template for email to mail, click to mail. So I'm going to click on this blue plus. I'm going to call this email to mail. Now the subject line, it needs to have the recipient's name and address. And it's separated by semicolons. So I'm going to do here seller, primary contact name. I'm going to do semicolon, I think it's what it's called, space. And I'm going to do mailing address, semicolon, mailing city, state, zip. Okay. I'm going to highlight all of that, cut it, and put it in the subject line. And you need to have some kind of text in the email body. So I'm going to do 3 dots. So all this is an email template. If I click Save Changes now, I'll show you how this all works. So I have this template called email to mail. What it does is it merges in these fields into the subject line, and that's it. So I'm going to go to my templates. Let's go back to this lead. Okay. And so now I have this PDF of this cash offer. I'm going to click on view, and this is what's in it. It's a 4-page letter, the 1-page cover letter, the 1-page contract, and 2 pages of here are the benefits of selling your property to us. And there's 2 ways to sell your properties. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to take that and I'm going to click on email right here. It's coming from my good email address, and I need to put in the MailBot, and it pulls it from the contacts that I have. It just pulls it up. I'm going to go right here to the email templates, and it's right there, email to mail. All right, so what's just happened here? It's now attached, that cash offer. It's a PDF. I'm sending it to Click to Mail from a pre-approved email address, and it's pulled into the subject line the person's name and their mailing address separated by semicolons. If I send this email right now to Click to Mail, because I have prepaid credits in Click to Mail, and I don't know how many I have 200 and something bucks. As soon as I email that to the seller, to email that to Click to Mail will get it today, print it, and send it first class mail in yellow paper in a window envelope to the seller. Okay, pretty amazing, just with a simple email. Now, 4 pages, it might be $1.07 or $1.05 or something like that. Okay. So I'm not going to send the email, but that's how you would send this letter. And the seller would get it in about 2 or 3 days. The other cool thing is, if I click on this, you can see here, this PDF is saved on Amazon web servers. This is a big, long URL. So I'm actually going to copy that URL and I'm going to put it in the Zoom chat. If you guys click that URL, you can see the PDF, right? So I want to text this PDF to the seller, but I don't want to text this huge long URL. So I use a service called Bitly, bit.ly. And you can create shortened URLs. You know, I just paste that long URL there. It gives me a short one. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that. Now, do you see in the Zoom chat, I gave you a shortened URL and a really long URL. Christopher, yes, you can email directly from Freedosoft. That's what I was just showing you. You can email that to the in fact, somebody give me their email address in the Zoom chat. All right. Judah gave me their email address. Let's go in here. I'm going to edit this person, put in their email right there. All right, so this person now, for this lead, their email is judah.armis@gmail.com. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on their email address. I'm going to click on the attachment. So I've just attached it down there, and I'm going to click on a template. I'm not sure it's going to have all of my stuff in here. My company phone, I'm not sure if that's all correct. But anyway, cash offer for your property. If I wanted to, I could say, I could copy that, paste that merge field. Okay, and I click send email. So I just sent an email to Judah with this PDF in it. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is, remember I got that shortened URL right here? I'm going to copy that URL. I'm going to go back here to, I want to send, I forget whose phone number that was. I'm sorry. I want to send them a text of, hey, I just sent you an offer. I think it was Julie, wasn't it? So I'm going to click on Julie's phone number here. I'm going to click on SMS. You choose the phone number it's coming from. And I'm going to say, hey, and let's say I don't remember their name. You can just primary first name there, Desmond, but I think it was Julie. Julie. Here is that offer I was telling you about. I just put it in the mail. Talk soon. And I'm going to paste that shortened URL. Okay. And do a smiley face. Okay, whoever it was, I just sent that. You should get that text here in just a minute. That was Julie. It was Julie. So Julie, let me know when you get that text. And Judah, did you get that email yet? Julie just got the text. Good. Julie, go ahead and reply to the text. And Judah, go ahead and reply to that email. And Julie, let me know, were you able to open up that PDF on your phone? So if I click on communications tabs, you can see the emails I sent out right here. Okay. And the voicemails and texts I sent right here. You can also see up here, you see the notifications. So she said, Julie replied right here. Thanks, Joe. I will have a look. So Julie, were you able to open the PDF on your phone from that link? I just texted her back. Well, she says I'm waiting for it to download. I'm going to change the names up here so I know it's Julie. Julie. So as soon as, go ahead and reply to my my text there, Julie. So the cool thing now is it keeps all of this conversation right here in the communications tab. And there's an email. Now, if Judah replies to the email, the reply does not go into FreedomSoft. You can't do that. It goes to your inbox. Okay. So I'm going to go look at my inbox right now. See if I see an email reply from Judah. Yeah, here it is. Let me share my, let me resume my, you guys see my email here? So this is the email I sent to Judah. Hey, and the name wasn't in here properly, but it would have had his name there. Attaches an as-is offer for your property at address. You can see the subject line was cash offer for your property at address there. The offer price is net to you. We'll cover all your normal closing costs. Please sign and send back to me right away. I've got offers on 3 similar properties. Thanks, Joe McCall. Okay. And he just responded, thanks for checking out the 32703 area. Cool. All right. Now, if I go here to back to my FreedomSoft, you see my. So Julie, go ahead and respond to my text. Let me know that you saw, you've responded in Zoom chat, but respond to my text. I just want to show people, yeah, was able to open the PDF. Boom, there you go. Is that cool or what? Yeah, I love it. By the way, if you don't have FreedomSoft yet or REI Simple, I'm going to give you a link to go to, guys. Go to Joe McCall. No, it's freedomsoftjoe.com. freedomsoftjoe.com. Just sent you guys a link there. It's pretty amazing. Cool. And the other thing is with this property too, you can see the street view of it. Wow, who paints their driveway like that? Only in Florida. Now, comparable sales, this property, Zillow used to be able to allow you to put your stuff in here, but you can't. Now you just paste the address. It used to give you comps, and Zillow changed the algorithm to not allow that. Providence. Orlando. You have to select the address from the drop down. So now you just kind of have to look at this. So you can choose instead, you can say, all right, I want to add to my estimate, add, add. Okay, so now you can see the estimate here, 278,601. It's actually kind of better. I like it because it allows you to choose what you've got. And you can say save and exit. Okay. And you can use the comps there. And return here to lead details. Okay. And so now you obviously you change the status to follow up, warm follow up. All right. So somebody's asking, can you show real quick how to do comps again. First of all, if you, let's say you want to get that contract signed, by the way, too. Let's say you're sending this and the seller wants to do it and you want to send them to get it signed. All you do is you click from this. This is the cash offer, right? We're going to have them sign right here under seller. Okay. So we're just going to, from here, click on sign. By the way, let me go back to the lead. I need to copy this email address. Okay. I'm going to copy that. So I'm going to go click sign. I'm going to put the signer's name here, Julie, and put her email address. And you could you could add more people to sign if you wanted. So it's uploaded the file right now here. You click on next. Oh, it's uploading right now. Surprised it's taken so long. Oh, there we go. It's done. Okay. Click next. This is where you're going to put your signature. All right. So I'm just going to drag seller name right there. And you choose who's supposed to sign it. It's Julie. It's required. And then you also want to drag the date right there. Okay. And I don't sign it until after the seller signs it. So you could add yourself, but I'm just not going to worry about that. Okay. Then you do next. Ensure all fields are assigned. Oh yeah. I forgot to assign the date. I'm going to choose date, also goes to Julie. So the signature and the date go to Julie. I'm going to click next, and I can send a title and message. Please sign doc. So this is going to Judah. Sorry, Judah. Please sign and send back. Thanks. Judah, I'm going to send this to you right now. Yes, this can be done inside of REI Simple. All right, and I'm going to send it to Judah right now. Judah's going to get it. It's out for signatures. Judah, go ahead and check your email and sign this. I can go back to my dashboard and work. Typically, guys, when you send an offer to a seller, you want to make sure you have them on the phone. Okay, Judah got it. Go ahead and sign it, Judah, and let me know when you text it back. So you want to, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. When you send it to them, you don't want to send it to them and say, hey, when you get it, sign it, send it back to me. You want them on the phone and you want to say, all right, Judah, I got you on the phone here. Okay. Now I'm going to email you right now. All right. Go check your email. I'll wait. Take your time. You're on the phone. You got the email. Cool. Now open it up. Good. Do you see where you sign there? Do you have any questions? Is this all good? Cool. Now they sign it, and we'll see. We'll see if Judah signed it yet. I'm going to refresh my screen. The cool thing is when he signs it, it will show up in here. The signed contract will show up in here. Now you can also click on this. We'll take you to the signed documents. It's still working. I can remind signers if I wanted to. I can edit it and resend it. I can preview it. Okay, he signed it. Let me go back to my dashboard here. Let me go back to that lead. Refresh my screen. It takes a minute to show up. Look at that. Something new just attached to my attachments. I can click view. This is the audit trail of it. So you can see if I zoom in here. I sent it to Julie, who's a Judah. They viewed it, they signed it, they completed it. Okay. Here's Julie's asking, don't they want to have time to read through it and decide versus signing on the spot? I make them read it through with me, with them on the phone. It's just like I'm meeting them in person. I'm giving them a contract to sign. You never leave a contract at a seller's house. Okay. Let me move this down here. All right. So let me go back here to attachments, refresh my screen. Oh, look, that contract was just signed and it's attached already to this record. Okay. I'm going to click on view here. Scroll down. Bada boom, bada bing. There's the signature right there. Do you see that? There it is. Thank you, Judah. You signed it and dated it. Now, if I wanted to, I could sign it electronically myself right here, or you could, what I would do is I would just open it my iPad and sign it and then email it to the seller. But yeah, if you wanted to, you can now take their signed, click sign. I'm going to sign it myself. Okay. It's still uploading the file here. And I could sign it electronically myself and then send it to the seller back. Okay. But let's just go back to the lead here. Pretty awesome. It keeps it all right here inside. I can go back to lead details or, go to communications. And I could say, thanks, Judah/Julie. Here is the signed contract for your information. It should also have been emailed to you. So I'm going to, let me go back here to attach. I want to send them a text copy of that signed contract. So again, I click view. We've got this long URL right here. I could send the URL to them, but well, let's just send it. Okay. And let's just paste the big long link in there. Now it's 220 characters. It might see if it breaks it up into two texts. I'm a little worried that it might not go through. So I just sent the long text, or you could, let's just try it with, I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do it a bit.ly. I'm going to create a new one. All right, copy the shortened one. Yeah, so Julie got the text. So she got the one with the shortened link and the one with the really long link. Awesome, guys. All right. Let me go back to a few things here. We're almost done. Because remember, we downloaded a bunch of different contracts or documents here, downloads. All right, so we did I showed you the one-page seller report, the blind owner financing offer, the one-page 3 options, the cash-only offer. Now there's 3 letters of intent that we sent. This is the third one. It was great talking with you today. Please review the different options. Okay, here, if I scroll down, this is the owner financing proposal. Okay. And this is the all cash, seller financing 1, seller financing 2. The first one is interest payments. $247, down payment $12,000. Seller carryback 4% interest only. Monthly payments of $783, full balance of $235 due in 10 years. Or I'll pay you $275, 27 down. Terms for remaining balance, 292 monthly payments of $847.50. Okay. Then the next 3 or 4 pages is, why has owner financing become a top alternative choice for selling a home? It explains owner financing, the summary of benefits for owner financing, and then it attaches also this one-page report. Okay. Then the other letter of intent, 3-option letter of intent, is a lease option proposal. And this is all cash. Lease purchase option. This is a sandwich lease option. And lease option assignment. This is a wholesaling lease option. And then the next, this is why a lease option is becoming a top alternative choice. Explains what a lease option is, a summary of the benefits of a lease option, and then 3 pages of frequently asked questions for lease options. Okay. And then the final letter of intent that this calculator creates is cash, sandwich lease option, and owner financing. And it still uses the sandwich lease option benefits. Cool. All right, guys. I am tired. This has been a really good one. All right. What's a good question from Tom, and then I'll wrap it up with this. Which one of these steps do you often relegate to a virtual assistant versus when you take over the process. So I just want the VA to go in, and let me share my screen one more time here. I just want the VA to go in, and we go right here to edit the offer. I just want the VA to do their best, go through it and put in your information, just fill it out with that thing, that autofill thing. Put in the property information, the seller's name, property address, mailing address. Put in the after repair values that they get from Redfin, and make them put in where they're getting these values from, so you can review it. Maybe it's Quantarium or whatever that was. Okay. And then have them do the cash offer method. Have them get the lowest solds. Let them take their stab at what they would choose, maybe something in the middle, or tell them, I want you to do the lower one. You can go in here and change it. Okay. Then have them go through with creating this, creating the seller lease option, creating the owner financing, and then the submit. Cool. Now here's the cool thing. They can then send you this link. So if you right click on this link, copy link address, they could then go into FreedomSoft for this lead, and they can click a task, or they can, what you could do is you can go right here and you can say, edit the offer calculator. Okay. And you can that also create a task. Edit or review this offer. Paste the link in there, assign it to yourself, due date today, save task. Okay. So when you go to your homepage, you see you have a task right here. Oh, review this offer. You click it, and you take this link, then open it, and you go back to review the offer and everything that they just did. You might want to change some of this. Say, that's too high, that's too low. Let's make it 290. Oh, you know what? I want to do 80%. I want to do $15 a square foot. I want to do 85% of that. So my cash offer is now going to be, I want to do 180. And I want to do $5,000 earnest money. Oops. Okay. I want to do 13%. I want 20%. It changes all your calculations, I'll do 0. I'll do 5, 10. I'll do 20% here. Okay. Submit. Now everything's new, but that link is still the same. Okay. So now you can download. I only want to send the I want to send the 1-page 3 options. So you download that, and I want to send the 1-page seller report. Okay. Then you can upload those into, oops. So let's save task. I just completed it. And see this link right here is the offer calculator. Now, one of the cool things you can do here as well is you can set this up where you have a merge field. You have a field in here for that offer calculator. So I'm going to add it in the financials. So I'm going to go here to settings, custom fields, seller leads. And I'm going to go right here to financials, and I'm going to add a field. Now let's do it under notes. I'm going to call this offer calculator link. And this will be it's just a text box. Create field. So it's going to be the offer calculator link right there. I'm going to do one more thing real quick while I'm here. I'm going to move this owner. I like the owner information up here higher. So I'm going to drag this all the way up. No, I want it. I want it there. There. I want the notes higher up. You can change this any way you like. Okay, that's good enough for now. Let's do save changes. Okay, now I can go to that lead I was just on. And I have that link here, cut. I can put that link right there. Okay. All right, guys, hope you got some good value out of that. Hey, listen, what'd you think? Was this any good? Was this good? Was this helpful for you? I want to ask you guys a favor. If you liked this, please leave me a short video review at reviewjoe.net. I'm going to send you guys a link. I would really, really, really appreciate it if you could leave me a quick video review at reviewjoe.net, or click on this link, or just from your phone, go to reviewjoe.net. Okay, from your phone, go to reviewjoe.net, and it's going to take you to a page that looks like, I'm trying to get more reviews. It's going to take you to a page that looks like this, but try to do it from your phone, because it's going to ask you for just to shoot a quick little video, like a selfie video from your phone. If you could, please go to reviewjoe.net, or click the link in the Zoom chat there. Okay. Put in your name. Give me an honest review. It doesn't, cool. And I got a special bonus for you. On the thank you page, I'm going to give you a free book I wrote called Making Extra Money Flipping Houses While on Vacation. And I did a video about that. And I'm also going to give you a series of all-day Saturday workshops on how to flip lease options. So if you can, I'd really appreciate it. Go to reviewjoe.net, click the link there in the Zoom chat, and it'll look like that. Put in your name, your mobile phone number, and email. And when you are done leaving the review from your phone, it'll redirect you to a page where you can get this class I did, all-day Saturday workshop on how to flip lease options, and then another book I wrote, PDF, of making extra money while flipping houses while on vacation. Makes sense? Okay. I appreciate you guys. If you can do that, that would be cool. Eric, you have a quick question. What is it? Eric has a quick question, he said. I'll answer a quick question. Okay, regarding deals from other wholesalers, what about it? Steve is asking, REI Simple and FreedomSoft are two different accounts? They are two different accounts, yes. If you contact support and you tell them, hey, what's the main difference between FreedomSoft and REI Simple? The only difference is you get the FreedomSoft mobile app if you get FreedomSoft Joe McCall Signature Edition. And I'm in the middle right now of customizing and updating FreedomSoft Joe so that it'll have all my contracts in there and stuff. Can we help them sell their deals? Yes. So Pace and I'm sorry, Jamil Damji, really funny guy. He's on Instagram everywhere, YouTube, does a lot of cool videos and stuff. He has a course called Astro Flipping, and it's all about finding the buyers first, then bringing them deals. There's a way to do that, but you got to make sure you're using the right paperwork, because if you're not doing the right way, you could be brokering. You don't want to be brokering. So you want to make sure you're sending them, you're only partnering together with people that you have an equitable interest in the contract for. Okay. And it helps if you have your license. So yes, you certainly can. If you want to learn the best way to do that, I would recommend checking out Jamil, Jamil Damji, and Astro Flipping. I just put that in the Zoom chat. He teaches how to do that. All right, guys. Appreciate you all leaving a review. Reviewjoe.net. Okay, I'll give you a free book if you like this stuff. Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.